It's been a staple of American households for decades. This dinner time icon has literally been right underneath our nose our entire life. It's Pyrex, the ultimate collectible kitchenware.
Collector Guide.
There's a lot of collectible vintage glassware out there, like Fire King, Glass Bake, and the popular and very expensive Franciscan Starburst. But Pyrex is the one that checks all the collectible boxes. It evokes nostalgia, it's easy to find, and for the most part, it's reasonably priced. Boy, that smells good. You could bake your food in the oven and serve it in the same dish. Or you could take that very same piece and store the leftovers right in the fridge. This is Diana, and she's been collecting Pyrex for over 20 years. So Diana, you have vintage glassware tucked all around this house. And obviously Pyrex is your favorite. So why Pyrex?
I started collecting all things mid-century about 20 years ago, and Pyrex just really fit into that whole world. I loved all the patterns and the colors, and they really enhanced my decorating.
So do you remember your very first piece?
I do. It was a primary mixing bowl set that I acquired at least 20 years ago, and that was quite a find back then.
Before we take a close look at your collection, for people like me that don't know a whole lot about Pyrex, tell us a little bit about the different categories.
There's the standard mixing bowls, which usually come in sets of 3 or 4. The Cinderella bowls, which are designed with handles that you can use to pour. There's the refrigerator sets that are made to store your leftovers. There's the bake, serve, store sets. There's the casserole sets, which were a little larger than the bake, serve, store sets. And then there's all the dividing serving dishes.
One of the things that make these so collectible are the patterns, which seem to reflect the time they were made. Which one are your favorites?
Let's start with one of my favorite patterns, which is the very early pink daisy. Then there's the very popular butter print, which I own numerous pieces of. And I love the colorful friendship. Another popular pattern with collectors is gooseberry, and it comes in white and pink and black and yellow. And here's rainbow stripes. And I really love dots. And then finally, white snowflake on turquoise.
Now this is just a small display of pieces from your collection. So why don't you walk us through what else you have?
Okay.
Let's start with this set right here.
So the stripe set I found in an antique store recently actually. And when I showed it to my mom, she said that she remembered getting it as a wedding gift in '72 when they got married. So even though it's not her set, it still means something to me.
So what is the story with these speckled dishes here?
Those are kind of interesting. Those are the first attempt that they made at actual lithography on the solid colors. It was before they actually made prints, and it's called Desert Dawn, and they come in 2 colors, pink and yellow. Very limited run on those because they moved into patterns quickly.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Over here I have some really early solid colors, flamingo and lime, again pre-lithography. These would have been made around the time like the famous primary color set bowls are. And I just love the colors. They're just quintessential 50s. These are 2 little unique pieces in my collection. This is a pixie casserole that was actually made in the 70s. It didn't have a lid, and I just thought it was adorable. And then of course this is the small casserole that's from the line early on in the 50s that I'm missing a glass lid for. They're kind of hard to find, but I just think they're both so cute. And here's one of my favorites that I really love and I'd like to obtain more in the set is the white snowflake on the black. This happens to be the divided dish, but it came in all numerous shapes and sizes of casseroles. It's just, again, really 50s and cool.
These seem like they're pretty hard to display because, you know, they take up room, but you've done something really nice with the top of the cupboards over here. Tell me about the challenges of displaying vintage glassware like this when you have a lot of pieces.
Well, the challenge is the stacking, which people that collect Pyrex understand, and some people use plastic containers in between each bowl so they can stack so you can see the patterns. I use little styrofoam circles from the craft store. Some people just stuff them with like newspaper, but it's got to be something stable so they don't all topple over.
Now, you told me another desirable part of Pyrex collecting are the promotional patterns. Why is that?
They're usually one-off, and they were only made for a very limited amount of time, usually a year or two, and they're just harder to find.
So what cool promotional patterns do you have in your collection?
Well, this year I really started to focus on collecting promotional pieces, and I was very lucky to find the very first promotional piece, which is the Heinz baking and serving dish from 1953. If shoppers bought 3 cans of Heinz products, they could get this dish for only 79 cents. One of my holy grail items has to be this Pyrex Promotional, the second one released in 1956. It's the super deluxe casserole known to collectors as the UFO. It comes with this brass lid, cradle, and a candle warmer. Another one of my pieces that is very special to me is this balloons chip and dip set from 1958, which I'm sure was a hit at any party. My husband and I actually found this together a number of years ago, antiquing in Bisbee, Arizona. Then there's this mod kitchen casserole dish. I love the print on the side. It's so mid-century. This was just one design that just screamed the 50s altogether. This one did come with a brass cradle that I am missing. A special one in my collection is definitely this golden poinsettia buffet server from 61 to 62. I've used it a number of times at Christmas to make scalloped potatoes and all other kinds of things. And it came complete. I got lucky with the brass cradle and the candle warmer. Finally, this blue wheat hostess casserole from 61 to 62. It originally did come with a brass cradle with plastic handles, like a lot of them do. I just love the simplicity of the wheat design.
Thank you for this great look at your collection, but I have to ask you, what is the one piece that's the top of your wish list?
Well, right now, like any Pyrex collector, I am looking to finish a set, and I need the green dots for this one.
It's pretty hard to find, huh?
Yes.
You would be hard-pressed not to come across at least some Pyrex in just about every antique store. It's also easy to find on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. To learn more about Pyrex, there are a number of good websites out there, such as PyrexCollector.com, PyrexLove.com, and the website for the Corning Museum of Glass, Pyrex.cmog.org. And for overall reference, you can't beat this book, Pyrex Passion, which you can get on their website, PyrexPassion.com. And one last thing, this piece of Pyrex right here was my mom's. It's from the 1940s, and I can't tell you how many great meals we had that were served in this very dish. Though Pyrex is still around today, production of the colorful opal glassware we love to collect stopped production in 1986. But lucky for us, this amazingly durable product has survived all these years. Pyrex, still bringing back great memories every time you serve a meal. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button for more great videos, and always remember, surround yourself with what you love.